Here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice?
I'm in space.
Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, bringing you Chapter 4 in my Portal 2 video walkthrough. And this one is entitled The Surprise. And it's aptly named after a nice little gimmick in the game. So are you ready for your surprise? Well, I'm probably not going to look at it because I'm too busy. There you go, there's your surprise.
Oh, come on.
GlaDos was fucking with you. Pretty much the story of this game. But this is another one of the light bridge puzzles, and it involves that laser over there. But be careful when you're running around this area, because there is a solitary robot behind that little fence that will shoot you. And the general premise of this puzzle is you have to stop, you have to use the light bridge to bounce one of those refracting boxes onto an area that you can pick it up so that you can use it to kill the bot. And there's a button, which I'm doing a really bad job of showing you, but over there where I'm looking right now, there is a button that will make those bins on the roof open up and drop two boxes which will bounce across to each other and collide in the center. And you've got to use the light bridge to deflect them onto this area so you can pick them up. And you're going to see me do it, but I'm not going to be talking about that. What I am going to be talking about is what I'm doing right now. And it's probably what a lot of you are doing, because this is the 18th of June as I record this. And right now, well, as of an hour ago, was supposed to be the commentator showdown. The competition to prove who is the best, you know, Call of Duty player on YouTube, effectively, through free-for-all, which I personally think is bullshit, because free-for-all spawns are too random. But it's not going the way they'd planned, because I don't know if you know this, but it was originally arranged by a guy called The Game 360, who is a beast of a player, and by the end it had everybody from Sandy Ravage in it to, you know, blooming Fatal Error, who's Holiday Doc for anybody that doesn't know him, and a whole bunch of really good YouTube players. Woody's Gamertag Onslaught, there's a whole bunch of them, and they managed to get some prize money because they got the event sponsored by a website called Filmon. And it's been hosted on Game Dunzo servers, so it's going to be, you know, a completely even battlefield. The only problem is this Filmon site seems to be a giant piece of dog shit, because I've currently got the stream open right now. I've seen maybe 4 minutes worth of footage of them all playing a domination to warm up. The domination quality, well, the video quality for the game I watched was about, you know, 320. It was all fucking standard definition. It were artifacty as hell. It was very low quality, and it was lagging frequently. And the only problem with this is it was only the video that was lagging. The audio was kind of fine, so you were hearing things before they were happening. It was just janky. It was like, you know, analysing Call of Duty frame by frame. It was atrocious, and it is still currently happening. And the site, I don't think, has quite calculated how popular these people are on YouTube, because it can't seem to handle the traffic, which is pretty fucking crazy considering it's been arranged for weeks now. And it's just a little bit frustrating, because I really wanted to watch it, and I do know that they're all going to be doing their own little YouTube videos captured from these games. Okay, that noise you just heard was the fucking live stream going back to the stupid pre-rendered advertisements. And it was the weirdo setting his hair on fire, which is probably going to resonate with anybody that's watching this. And now we've got that stupid, fat, balding twat who's got the olive leaves around his ears, thinking he's Julius Caesar, slagging women off, because, you know, that's cool, obviously. Presenting a prize to these people that look like they haven't moved off the sofa for many years. Fucking ridiculous. But anyhow, that's that test chamber down. But yeah, I'm thinking the moral of this story is, you know, in their efforts to try and make it something quite prestigious, give it prize money, give it a point, they've gone and just shot themselves in the foot, because no one can fucking watch it. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's how it works. So it's nice that they tried something interesting, it's nice that they tried something different, but right now there is a lot of hate in that stream. There is a lot of thumbs down and shitting on the Filmon service, and every other stream seems to be fine when you click on them, but then they give you the time limit, because I think this is the only one that you don't have to pay a membership for. But truth be told, I would rather suck a dick than pay a membership for this site. And the best part about it was White Boy and X-Jaws absolutely whoring themselves at the start of the fucking video, because this is obviously a bit of a business opportunity for those people because they're massive YouTubers. So they've done interviews with them and the owner of the film on site, basically talking a load of shit how they watched that website and how they think it's great. And it is the fakest, most forced piece of shit I have ever seen. It is like fucking George Michael selling Pepsi Cola. It is that bad. It is about as fucking weak as it gets. It truly is. But this puzzle here is an interesting one, and you have to fire yourself across the room using what I just did then, using that springboard as propulsion to get onto these various shelves and get those refraction cubes so that you can use a laser and basically do a zigzag with a laser beam across this arena and open up the next door. So just follow what I do. There's a couple of fails, a couple of, badly timed jumps and what have you, but this is the best way to do it. There you go. Just keep bouncing, doing your thing. And now a quick update on this stupid website. Came to watch some Call of Duty. What do we have? We've got two fat guys in a mud bath wrestling. And I say wrestling lightly because they're so fucking huge they can barely keep their own weight above sea level. Unbelievable. But once you've got the first refraction cube, you can then start bending this beam across this area. And this is one of those puzzles that it's really difficult to start, but once you understand what you're doing, it isn't too bad at all. It's just a case of putting the theory to the test and performing as intended. But there's about 9 videos in this portal guide because there's about 9 chapters, and I managed to keep them all under one video with the looks. And I'm hopefully going to be able to get them all to you pretty soon. But I am trying to kind of space them out purely because there's a lot of stuff I'm uploading at this moment in time, and I like to keep leapfrogging so it keeps it fresh. It keeps it, I always try and think of it like a good book, where when there's 3 different plots happening and the plot that you're really, really interested in gets to a pivotal moment, and then suddenly you're with other characters and you're kind of like, oh, fuck, and you flick a few pages forward to see when you're back with those other characters, and you kind of do the whole, well, I'll just have to read a couple more and get back and see what's happening. And then through doing that, you sometimes get really into the new subplot, so by the time it goes back to the other characters you were really excited about, you've discovered something new and you're excited about these other people. So I do think that can really, really help your uploads, or I'm hoping it is. If it doesn't, leave me a comment. But just keep bending the laser, and once you've got it over there, this is effectively the last push of this puzzle. You have to be careful though, because there is a bunch of robots guarding that door, and you want to use the refraction cube to kill them before you go across, because I was in such a daze when I was recording this that my first attempt I jumped straight across there not thinking and got murdered by the turrets. So you want to avoid that if possible. But just keep doing your thing, doing your Portal 2 business. And I watched a film called Sucker Punch last night, and I was tweeting like a motherfucker about it. And I'd like to try and sell my tweet a little bit more to you. I have started a Twitter. It is really, really useful, and I've got about 11 people following me right now. And it's the best way to find out a lot of details about the guides, about the videos, about my schedules and things, because I do post a lot of shit on there. I'm trying to get a lot more reliable with it, because it's a really useful tool. And also, if you have any interest in gaming with me, in getting in a session for Call of Duty or something like that, then Twitter is the best place to do that. So if you genuinely want to play with me, at this moment in time it's only going to be on Xbox 360 because I don't have a PS3. I will be using the Twitter to put out a bulletin basically saying, anybody want to play XXX. That's not a porn game, that's because I can't be asked to say a game. And it'll be an open window until I've got a full party. So quick notice to anybody that does take the time to stick with the channel and actually wants to play with me. Join me on Twitter, follow me on there, and that is your best way to do that. But let's have a see what's happening here. So now that you've killed the turrets, you can put the laser into the gap, and then you can carry on into the next test chamber. Right then, so there we go. I'm speaking to you now post the commentators showdown, and I can pleasantly say, thanks to Fuzzy Audiballs, that I got to watch it on high quality, on a good stream, thanks to his Justin TV account. So big shout out to that guy. He doesn't know who I am, he probably never will, but I'm grateful to you, dude, because that was some of the most fun I've probably had watching the equivalent of a YouTube video in a long time. And for anybody that's not seen it yet and is curious about it, I'm going to be ruining it right now, so turn off and watch that stuff that they're probably going to be uploading. No idea yet, it's just ended about 2 minutes ago. And wow, it was pretty cool, man. The first game was on grid, and it was a pretty close one. It had some pretty close stuff on it. Everybody that was expected to join was in it. Apparently White Boy didn't show up because he'd been staying up all night trying to practice on an Xbox pad. Suffice to say, he never ever turned up, so you know, we can't really say much about it. Not that I thought he was going to do very well, because compared to some of these people, I just don't think he's in the same league personally. But anyhow, the first game, pretty close. Fear Crads was on a 2-bar because he's from England, so big props to him, because playing Black Ops on, you know, not the strongest connection is a ball ache, but the Game Dunzo servers really saved him, so he was able to compete, and he ended up pulling out the victory with an AK-47, because apparently his FAMAS just wasn't working. And Ronaldinho was doing kind of okay, but he dropped out because his internet's a piece of shit, so he went from being a contender to, you know, losing by default, which is a bit of a shame. A couple of the favourites that people expected to do well did do well. The Marker J was, you know, doing really good in the first game. So was the Game 360, two massively awesome players. And then Sandy Ravage and did pretty okay. Onslaught was leading for a while, which might come as a surprise to some people that don't watch him. But Onslaught's a beast as well. But yeah, Fearcrats took the first game. It was some pretty tight stuff. The second game was on firing range, and it was another interesting one. I can't remember who won that one, but like Woody was pretty much on bottom every time, but it's to be expected because Woody's never even professed to be, you know, the best gamer, but he seemed like he was having a lot of fun, which is always the main point of all this kind of stuff. I think either the Marker J or the Game 360 beat that one. The one that followed that was a Nuketown, and Ronaldinho won that one, which was, I don't know, you see him play that map a lot. That seems like his kind of traffic. He knows the spawns, and he was beasting with the guns. But I mean, the fucking Marker J, man, he was doing some work, and he ended up winning the contest, and rightly so. He was on fire. He wasn't the biggest talker. He wasn't, you know, communicating a lot or trash talking or anything. He was quite quiet. Wasn't doing his Cujo line or anything. He talked when he needed to, and that was through his gameplay, and he destroyed. And then second was the Game 360, who was consistently having pretty good games. And then third was Fearcrads, who was English on a 2-bar and still managed to do some beasting, so he did really well with that. Mad props to him. A couple of others to note. Onslaught was finishing high quite a lot, and he's a beast player, man. I knew he was, and I was hoping to see him do well, and he truly did, using a silenced FAMAS. Then there was people like Muzzafuzzer was doing a bit of sniping and doing, you know, kind of decent considering some of the gun setups. And then Xjaws only got to play 2 of the games, and in the firing range he ended up placing using double Calippos, as my friend calls them, or the Kipperus as it's known, which was pretty cool considering everyone else was running FAMASes. He did really well with that, but then he had to leave, so that was a bit of a shame. And Sandy placed on one of the games. I think he was using a Galil at the time, and on the rest he was pretty close to placing, but he never, you know, hit the home runs that people thought he was going to. But what you got to bear in mind is he'd not played in 8 months, and this is a guy that, even when there's all these really good people in the fucking party, he's still listening to Metallica, he's still doing his usual thing. He's not running ninja and sound whoring like a beast, he's just running around doing his thing, and for that I completely respect him. And there's a lot of people in the competition that did the exact same, and you wouldn't have thought as much. There was no camping, there wasn't a lot of defensive play, it was top from all of them. So I mean, I've got mad respect for each and every person that joined in, because nobody was a dickhead, nobody was, you know, taking it too far or anything. Everyone was respectful, and it was a really good show. I would just like now for it to be done on some different rules, you know, maybe even on Modern Warfare 2 with all the bullshit taken out, because a lot of these people prefer Modern Warfare 2, and that would be something that I would definitely love to see. You'll have to leave a comment if you agree, but that's the end of Chapter 4, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. You take care now.